Look at that. We're stuck in Unreal Engine. There it goes. All right, let's get everything set up right fast. Go to the server, go to mine, private. Anybody sneaking in here? Alright, let's get going. Oh, is it too dark? Time to get out the kerosene lamp. Turn on your lights, you moron. Oh. Alright, so I guess I should probably update you guys on what I've done so far. So, I don't remember if I streamed it when we purchased the Climax, but we purchased the Climax. We got all the way up to the iron ore mine, and yesterday I worked my butt off, and hi Demon, I completely filled up the iron ore mine. So I had a little bit of extra money, and I went ahead and I bought our 8th locomotive now. And I will show you guys that here in a little bit. But as far as I know, right now, yeah, alright, so as far as I know, at this current moment, I only have one locomotive that I have available that can haul the raw iron. So, and we only had enough for one car because the person that was helping me, wasn't at a high enough level to purchase anymore. Meanwhile, he's sitting at like, I think $4,000 that he could have helped with the railroad and all. He didn't join my company because we came up with the plan that we would both do different things and we would both make money so that we both could, purchase things. So, right now I guess, beelining back down to the, to the yard so we can set this train up for failure. I'm kidding. And, I actually have to kind of go through and align the switches the way that we need them. So that it'll go the way it needs to. There we go. But, the funny thing about this Climax is I have 12 cars and a caboose. It's actually the heaviest caboose in the game. And the Climax was struggling to get up the hill, so we went ahead and we put the Mosca on the back, and with 12 cars and a caboose, the Mosca and Climax are able to make it up the mountain, no problem. So, we're kind of sticking with that. That's what we decided to stick with. That's our 2 locomotives that do the work. But here we are. We have the Climax. It's been working its butt off for us. Probably draining out more water than I want it to, but oh well. It's a part of railroading. Actually, she's kind of good on water right now. We need to get a water tower set up on all the at all the places so that we can refill the water tanks and stuff. So I guess I should probably tell you guys what the plan is. The plan as it sits right now is to get enough iron ore to the iron ore or to the smelter that we can melt it down and we can load up a train, preferably this one, and take beams and rails to the coal mine so that we can go get coal so that we can put some in the coal shooter so that we can make enough coal that when we need to refill our coal locomotives, we have it to do so. Because as it stands right now, we're doing our best to avoid coal-fired locomotives until we get to the coal mine. So yeah, that's the plan for now. And I do apologize in advance if I'm not very talkative today. I don't really have much to talk about, and considering there's nobody really here to talk to me, it does become one of those things where it's like there's really no need to talk, so. I hope that switch is aligned correctly. Yes, it is. Alright, thank goodness. Alright, here we go. Into the siding. Get some brakes going so that we can stop the train and at least have it ready to go when we need it to. Alright. Wait, I guess if I click the right button, this would work a little better. Alright, now I gotta go, I'm gonna go show you guys. Alright, so this is the Glenbrook, which I'm assuming is what the person that was helping me decided he wanted to use to haul the raw iron. So here you are. This is our single hopper car pulled by the Glenbrook. Alright, now I gotta go show you guys the locomotive that I purchased yesterday and did quite literally 2 runs with it, and it's not a bad locomotive. I'm not dissatisfied with it. It's actually really good for what we're needing to do. Yeah. Say hello to the cordwood goat. Look at her in all her glory. Bask in her glory. Anyway. We have 8 cordwood cars, as you can see. We've gotten the cordwood area fully stocked, so that's good. Hello, how are you? But now we gotta get some raw iron down here so that we can get the rails and the raw iron. Now I know where the raw iron goes. That's not an issue. We're gonna start making a lot of money now that we've finally gotten to a point to make a lot of money. I think my favorite, and I'll tell you guys this, and I'm being completely honest, my favorite thing out of all the stuff that I've ever hauled has got to be the tools. I love getting the Eureka and having it pull the tool train, as I call it. I'll just hook up a buttload of box cars and it'll just freaking pull it with no issue. Oh my god, he drives me nuts with that. And the thing's out of water. Alright, we'll fill it up when we get there. No biggie. She'll be fine for now. I'm only OCD about certain things, and that seems to be one of them. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys now, I'm already planning on trying to get, I'm already planning on trying to get all the locomotives in the game. But as of right now, I believe what me and the person I've been playing with agreed upon is that since we're gonna try and haul 10 of these, cars here, I think the plan is that we are gonna try and get, I'll show you guys the locomotive because we're gonna be moving for a while. The plan is, for now, at least, that we are gonna get this locomotive to pull the raw iron train. It'll haul or go up to the raw iron mine, whatever you want to call it. Pick it up, take it down, get it smelted, and go right back on board, And I don't really know why I decided to do that when we had this one that we could have grabbed, but I don't know why I just like this one a little bit more. So that right now is the plan. So I'm assuming that eventually my friend is also going to end up wanting to get this behemoth of a locomotive, but I don't want to get it because I really don't like it. If I had my way, we would end at this because this thing's a behemoth already. And it gets an onion stack, guys. Look at that. It gets an onion stack. Look here. It's a gym thing. I like that headlight on it. Too bad you can't hear it from a massive stinging. Alright. Rusty paint job. Oh, it's nice. I like that. That was good. They'd always do the green. I like the green. The green on it kind of looks weird, though, with all that other... Oh, that's the rusty paint job. Excuse me. Yeah, I kind of like because this one kind of looks like it's a faded type color. And this one makes it look brand new. So, I think I'd probably go for this one. Don't mind me, I'm just goofing around with all the funnels. He's getting excited, run! This one really doesn't have a good selection of paint jobs. Got like a weird green to it. I don't like that. And then it's got like the rustic look. I kinda like this one. I think it looks the best. I like this one. Mastodon. Yeah, we have a ton of locomotives we still have to purchase as of right now. Where are we going? Oh my lord. Yeah, the plan is to eventually have at least one of every locomotive, so, yeah. Obviously, when I say have one of every locomotive, I don't mean that we're going to try and keep this one. The plan is to purchase one of every locomotive. And so far, we've got a hand car, which is up there at the gold mine because we were testing track. Um, we've got the second quarter with the extended, I don't know if you would call it a cab, but I'll call it a cab. The extended cab and the extra wheel sets. We have the Montezuma that we haven't purchased. We have the Glenbrook we haven't purchased. We have the thing I just showed you not too long ago. We have the Climax, the Mosca, the Cook with the firewood. We've got like 8 locomotives, either way. We got 8 locomotives. And unfortunately, this isn't Railroaders, so I can't be like, oh, guys, look, this is what we have, you know? So, yeah. And figure out what the best route back is. Oh, look at that. Just go this way. Alright, cool. I might try hauling something up this mountain to get to the gold mine, but I can't until, I actually cut down all the trees to the route and actually build the rest of the route. Because right now I'm missing track to the, I believe it's the gold refinery or something like that. So, yeah. Right now that's all we're missing though, so. 400 Wolf Lake Railroad. Look at Glenbrook go! I can't wait to see how many cars it can't pull when we go down. Or go up. This thing will probably be able to haul about 3 of these cars and then just start dying. Now these cars, each of them haul 10. So, unless they've changed it, which wouldn't surprise me none. So you guys are about to see, if I remember correctly, you get paid $20 a piece per iron ore. So we'll get that stuff going and we'll see where it gets us. We got the lumber stacked up over there. Alright, bring her to a stop. Alright, we're loaded. Must have changed the textures on it or something. I don't remember it looking like that. But anyway. But yeah, as you guys can see, she's heavy. Stop. Alright, we gotta go fill this thing up with water. So we're gonna pull it to a stop and apply the brake and all and go fill this thing up with water before we keep going. This is the real money maker right here, guys. You start getting some iron ore and stuff, coal, all this stuff starts making you money. Now, I guess I should probably tell you guys the plan. What? Um, the plan right now is to just get as far as we can, start getting as many of the supplies as we can, and we're gonna try and get to the oil barrels. And I want to try on this particular save to get to the gold mine. Now, as you can see, the gold mine takes a lot. Coal, beans, is that raw iron, I think? I can't tell if that's raw iron or not. And tools. So that's that. And then over here, which is where the track ends that I got to build to, we need water, which the way that I have the water set is sad, and I know it, but, I'm going to hopefully try and fix it the best I can. Um, we need the gold, the water, we need coal, and we need, I think that's cordwood. So we'll get that going. And then once we travel all the way over here, which I've already built most of this over here, it's just the gold and coal, and, we're good to go. So, yes. So, again, it's an industry that wasn't on this map originally. I put those there. I built them because I wanted to have them, and I felt like this map was big enough that you could have done it. And I was right. I did manage to do it. Janky as all get out, but I did it. You know how we have like Jank Airlines from Komodo Gaming? No, this is Jank Railway right here. That should be falling. Yep, it's falling. Alright, cool. While I'm waiting, I can probably just go on ahead and go through my line and start cutting down trees. So, let me go over here to where I started it at. I think I've cut down the trees, but I want to be sure. Oh, there's a few trees that I need to get rid of, but not be too crazy. Yeah, don't mind the floating buffer. That's there for a reason. I'm just going through right now, making sure that, everything works appropriately. But yes, this is the line that I was referring to. Now, some of it is like, I think I went as high as like 4, maybe 5% just to get up the hill. But for the most part, the climb is 1% all the way. So there is that we're looking at at the moment. Yeah, this right here is what I built. Now, I always like kind of doing like bridges like this because I think it gives you a really nice look at like some of the scenery. So, I like it. I know a lot of other people would probably cringe to death looking at it, but I like it. I like the way it looks. I think it turned out really well. Just a straight line going where you gotta go. Funny enough, down below here, is one of the industries, and I intentionally had to build my bridge this way because I didn't want to go over the industry. I could have, but I didn't want to because I thought it would look weird. So I was like, you know what? Let's just put a random bridge thing behind it and it'll look better. And other than this massive freaking trestle that I had to build in order to make it work, it actually looks pretty good. But down there, I believe, is the meat packing plant, which means if we haul the cows down here, we'll, you know, make some meat. Now, from what I've heard, the meat packing plant unfortunately doesn't make much money. So, um, unfortunately, we're gonna hold off on that for now, but This is where I stopped messing with it because I started actually just building it, and I just said, you know what, I'll come back through later and cut some trees down, and then I never did because I was an idiot. I'm over here trying to figure out which ones got to go, which ones don't. So don't mind me. Oh, I hate when the trees won't cut themselves down. It would be nice if they would have added a mechanic where it was like, oh yeah, this tree's in the track. Let me cut it down right fast. But uh, that one should be that one. Yeah, this is gonna be the pain. I'm just gonna go through and just um cut down most of the trees here, at least the ones that are poking out or in the tracks like these are. You know, just get them out of the way, and then we'll come back and chop down the ones I can't reach underneath the bridge. I love how sometimes the trees will just yeet themselves if they're in the bridge. They'll just freaking yeet, gone. As you can see, we did get high enough eventually to where the trees just kind of stopped morphing in. Also, yes, I'm aware of what this looks like. I cannot help it. I cannot help they didn't bother to build a switch that actually came with the bridge, but would have been smart if they would have done that, but you know, everyone's online devs aren't exactly smart. This is these are the same people, by the way, that are muting and deleting comments of people who are basically protesting the game being dead because the fact they haven't given us updates in forever, and their excuse is we're working on the game. I can't remember what it was he said. We're working on the game, we just don't have an update yet. And it's like, so are you working on the game or are you not working on the game? Because you just said you're working on the game, but you don't have an update yet. If you're working on the game, then you should at least have something to tell us. And I made a theory, and I thought it was pretty darn good. I'm pretty positive after they released the game into the broke full release version that it is now, and I say broke full release because I say what it is, broke and full released. Um, the big companies that were helping them kind of packed their schnart up and left. You know, they just kind of said, well, we got you out of early access. Here you go. Merry Christmas. You know, whatever. Flip you. We don't care about you anymore. And now they're back to trying to do everything on their own because they don't want to ask anybody else for help. And because I guess they feel stabbed in the back. And if I'm being honest with you guys, this game has a lot of potential if they would just get off their asses and do something to actually make the game. I'm not gonna say better. Well, for the lack of a better term, yeah, sure, better. Because the game's great as it sits right now. I mean, it works perfectly for the host, which is most of the time the most important part. But I have noticed when I've been playing multiplayer recently, there are a few bugs that keep on popping up. Like, I was in a multiplayer server and it wasn't showing up on my friend's thing. I had to close the game and reopen it before it would ever actually show him my game so that he could join it. Another one is he keeps having random desyncs. Yesterday, um, on the map, a switch was lined one way, but then when he went over it, it was aligned a different way. So that was an interesting desync. This man rolled over the track. There was no rail there, but he went over it. He actually took a screenshot. I didn't save it, but I thought it was funny. But there are small bugs that could be fixed. Again, bugs that I don't think ever will get fixed because, as I said, the devs are too prideful to actually ask people for help. But I do love the game, and I'd love to see it. Um, I'd love to see it succeed, but it's getting to one of those points to where it feels like the only way that the game will ever actually succeed is the people that own it don't own it anymore, and somebody who actually gives a shit about trying to fix it gets it. Because I hate to be mean, but I think his name is Goku, I think, and somebody else, like, neither one of them are good at keeping the community informed. He proceeds to say yesterday, and this I think pissed me off more than anything else. He goes, I update people more on Discord. About what's going on. And if you're on there, you'll know that, we don't have any updates. It's just easier for me to use that than it is for me to use the Steam. And it's like, have you ever thought that there's maybe people who don't use Steam or use Discord for a reason? Like, I don't know. Maybe they're not old enough to use it. Although that doesn't stop anybody now. Why would it stop them then? But whatever. Or maybe they just really don't want to mess with it. But no, he doesn't stop to think about stuff like that. It's just, if you want an update, join the Discord. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. If you can't update me where you need to update me, which is everywhere, then maybe you don't need to be the leader of this. Maybe you need to give somebody else the flag and let them carry it for a while. Because I'm telling you guys now, alright, as much as I hate Heist, I guarantee you if they were to fucking contact him and give him, I don't know if he'd do it now, but like back when he first left and didn't have like a massive, I'm gonna say maximum hatred for them. If they would have called him and asked him to take over everything, this game would have been a hell of a lot better when it exited or early access. A hell of a lot better. Now, I don't know if he would have added the mechanics he's adding into his game that he's working on now, but it would have at least been bug free, I get the feeling, because he wouldn't have stopped working on it until it was. Because even though, like I said, I don't like him, this mother trucker knows how to freaking fix some bugs. I'll tell you that. He ain't. I mean, we all know that Century of Steam is coming out, and we also, I think, every single one of us that's in the train gaming community knows when it comes out, Railroads Online is going to lose every bit of popularity it has. We all know that, I think. Or at least I hope we do. I would have to have the one tree that I can't actually get to. I literally can't get to this tree. Like, I have no physical way to get to this tree. This tree is like permanently stuck here. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. You got it. Yes, these are the ones I hate. These small ones like this. I'm glad they added different trees, but these are annoying. And guess what? They're perfectly placed again in a spot where I can't get to them. But I think anybody who's anybody that knows railroading and everything knows that when Century of Steam comes out, Railroads Online is going to die. It is going to fall off the spectrum and it will die. It will be a dead game. Because the devs are not worried about at all trying to update it, obviously. They think, that it's okay the way that it is as it stands, and they're not willing to fix it. So, people are going to flock to a game that they know has spent several years in development before even being announced that it was going to be released on a platform. So, I mean, Goku doesn't realize he's fucking himself over. And you know what? When he realizes it, it's going to be too late. The game's going to die. People probably won't buy it. If they do, they're idiots. I hate to be mean. They are. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I support this game keeping on going, but, if they're not going to make any headway towards letting the community know what they're doing, I don't see a reason for it to keep being around. I really don't. I mean, if you're not going to update the community and be like, hey, this is what we got going on, what's the use? And it's like I was gonna make a post yesterday, but I think Steam went down for a little while or something. And it's like I said in that post, I'm not saying that you got to tell us, that you've got anything or anything. You don't have to wait until you actually have something to inform the community that you have something. Like, and it's like I said in the post, I didn't get to post it, by the way. It was like, I don't care if it's something as stupid as posting a smiley face, just freaking let us know that there is something going on. Tell us what you're working on. Even if you don't have it finished, tell us, like, hey, we're working on getting this, and this bug fixed, or we're working on this, and that. We're gonna add some new locomotives. Something, just something here. Come on. Like, but no, instead he hides in his little corner, does nothing. Meanwhile, Century of Steam releases dev vlogs, I think, every month now, or every other month, something like that. And guys, I haven't watched the dev vlogs, but just from the pictures of the screenshots and stuff that they've inserted into the videos, Century of Steam is going to blow Railroads Online out of the water. It's going to kill it. Because the customization of the engines alone is way better than what we have here. And I'll say it, I love Railroads Online. I loved it the first time I watched it, and I believe I watched it the very first time Komodo Gaming did like a single video on it. No, actually, excuse me, that's not true. I think the first time I watched it was, I think Khan did a video on it, and I didn't like, wait a second. But, what? What are you sending me? What? Why? Why? Chris, just why? Chris, you play too much War Thunder, I think. If you're getting recommended weird War Thunder videos like that, you play way too much War Thunder. I don't even look on my For You page anymore. I just have a set thing that I do, and then I don't want to go up or down, so we'll just get rid of that. Here we go. Deforestation! Yay! Oh. Also, guys, just so y'all know, I don't know how long I'm gonna be streaming, because I don't know when my mom is gonna want to take me to go get my truck, so when it happens, I'm gonna go get my truck. Also, I wanna ask you guys a question. I hope everybody's here so that they can actually answer the question. What do you guys think about me doing kind of sort of like a Wolf's Garage type shorts or whatever, and posting on all the things that I'm gonna do to the Tahoe when I get it? And I'll do like a because I wanna do something different. I wanna try out trying to do something different, and this is my version of different. I want to try and do like a garage type thing. I'm pretty sure that my train's probably been overfilled with water about 50 different times now, but yeah. If anybody's ever watched, I don't watch him anymore because he was quite literally just a rage baiting channel, and I found that out the hard way. Um, Not really the hard way. I just basically, but I found out that the guy quite literally did everything he could to rage bait people. and he thought it was funny because he's like a freaking adult. He's a man child, basically, is what I'm gonna call him. He was a man child. And, well, where I'm parking the Tahoe, ain't nobody gonna get access to where my address is anyway, so, because I'm gonna have a set spot that'll hide all that stuff. So, because my driveway, luckily enough, anyway, the, my driveway goes up, so I'll be on a hill the whole time doing different things, but I may or may not do it. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be something I have to decide. But I'd like to try and do it just for fun. Oh, and by the way, yes, I should probably tell y'all that they have um a new gambling thingy, and I tried several times getting something, and the best thing that I got was, I think, a gun decoration, and I don't know, demon. I'll get it when I go to get it. It'll probably be like right before I go to church. I'll go and get it. Because it would be best to do it that way. Just my opinion. How long have I been streaming this? Eesh, only 49 minutes. No! Deep, no! Why? Just why? Why? No, you didn't tell me the price for the starter. And I have a picture of cheese. Yeah, they could have kept it. If they would have charged me that much, they would have kept it. Ain't no reason it would have took $750 to do no starter. You got robbed. It doesn't take long to put a starter in. Unless your vehicle has the starter to where it's hidden. I can tell you, well, no, that's the starter. Never mind. I'm thinking about the other thing. I'm thinking about the other thing, the alternator. My alternator sits like right there on the freaking um right there next to the engine. I can get to it like right now if I wanted to. Well, not right now considering the fact my truck is at the shop, but you get the point. I could go outside once I got the truck, get my tools out the truck, and take the alternator off with no issue. Because it's right there. Now the starter, I don't know where the starter is on my truck, but I'm assuming it would probably be under the hood somewhere. Probably under the engine too. Beside it maybe, I don't know. Why does Demon sound like a salesman? Prices may vary depending on where you go. Demon should do a freaking commercial. Freaking prices may vary. And the cordwood begins to disappear. Yep. Alright, let's unload this. There we go. Get that filled back up. Hopefully. Has it already eaten the, no, not all the way. Let's see what it's got for me already. I don't know what it spits out at a time, so, I have to kind of come over here and look. Alright, so 8 rails. Oh, hold on. Let's hold off. Okay, so it spits out 2 rails, and I'm assuming 1 metal beam. How much money did I make? Alright, enough for another car. That's awesome. Alright, 84, okay. I swear, I wish if my mom wanted to do something, she would do it instead of acting like she has to go through me in order to get an answer. I love her to death that she actually tries to, let me have a decision in some things, but it drives me nuts because it's like, just do it if you're gonna do it, please. You're driving me nuts here. All right, cool. We still only have enough for one car, but one car's better. Paying for parts is a lot cheaper than having somebody else do it. Like if I would have known how to do my brake rotors or whatever, I could have went to or the wheel bearings, whatever it was. I could have went to a freaking store and got one myself for a little bit of nothing. Easy, you know? Dude, my brother, he goes, have you done this or something yet? I think he was asking me like if I had fixed my truck yet or not. And I was like, yeah, I'm paying 300 and yada 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 for it. And he's like, oh, well, the internet. And it's like, I love the internet too, dude, but when I don't know how to do something, I'm not going to try and watch YouTube to learn how to do it, especially something as dangerous if I screw up as that. We now have two cars, boys. Mm, mm. I just recently got done watching several different films. I just recently got done watching Van Helsing, one of my favorite all-time favorite like mythical movies was and always will be Van Helsing. The werewolf in there is spot on. The only thing it's missing is the tail, but it had the tail, it would have been the perfect werewolf in my opinion. And then I got done watching National Treasure 2. I'm trying to think. I got done watching Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And right now I'm watching, or I was watching, the second one. The thing that actually kind of, and I've watched this movie before, the thing that kind of aggravates me about the Percy Jackson, I think it is the Sea of Monsters or whatever. Um, they leave you off on that film with such a cliffhanger that you think that they're gonna make a third movie. And then they never do. That drives me nuts when they do stuff like that. I can't stand when they do stuff like that. Funny enough, I read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief before I watched the film. And I have to say, the movies were decently spot on. I didn't really read the second one because I couldn't really get into it as much as I could the first one. But there were like a few things that they changed um for the first one that I didn't like. Like apparently in the first one in the book, you actually get to see Mr. Bruner come out of his wheelchair and turn into the centaur. It doesn't show that in the movie, which sucked. But I refuse to watch the TV series because they got some of the ugliest fucking kids playing the characters. And personally, I think if they were gonna do it, they should have fucking done it with the characters that played in the movies. I gotta admit though, the one thing that I loved about the Sea of Monsters was that Confederate ironclad that Ares gave his daughter. That was pretty cool. That thing. It was such a goofy looking design, and it wasn't based off of any of the Confederate warships at all, but it looked awesome. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new show just because of the fact that I think they could have done better with the actor selection. Disney was being cheap. I mean, yeah, okay, cool if they have like cool effects and stuff, sure. But to me, they could have chose better actors. I think my favorite Greek story, and I read this story, and I'm still big on werewolves, don't get me wrong. But my favorite Greek story is the story of, I think it was a king or something. He goes and he invites, I think, Zeus, or Zeus comes down and he goes to his kingdom or something like that. to eat with him. And Zeus is unaware that the guy has, the guy feeds Zeus, um, a soup, but the soup is made out of, if I remember correctly, the soup was made out of like I think people that the guy murdered, and he put them in a soup or something like that. And so Zeus was so mad. Now, this is the part of the story I could not stand. Zeus was so mad that he cursed the guy, and I quote, I think the book, I'm not fully quoting it, that he cursed the guy to be the thing that he was and be like I can't remember what the words was, but basically he cursed the guy to be a wolf, basically. And the guy got turned into like a werewolf or whatever. Because of what he did. And it's like the coolest story I've read out of all the stories and stuff from like the Greek mythology or whatever. Cause like, it's like, it kind of gives you an idea on where werewolves come from. And it does actually kind of give you an idea that the Greeks probably believed in werewolves too. So, there's that I always think is cool, but, other people probably don't, but I think that's pretty cool. But, I think my all-time favorite, though, actual full-on Disney animated film that's based off of the Greeks will always be Hercules. Because it was just such a really good movie. Really, really good. I love Hades in that movie. I've never been a fan of Hades, but bro was awesome in that movie. A little dark, a little gloomy, but hey, full of dead people. But I always, honestly, like, if I'm being honest, like, I felt bad for Hades in all the Greek mythology and stuff because it's like, he helped his brothers fight off Kronos or whatever. They defeated him and all. And in return, instead of like his brothers actually giving him like a decent seat at the table, they go, "Nah, you get to rule the underworld." And it's like, dude, that's kind of sad. Like, bro did nothing wrong, and bro got sent to the underworld to rule it or whatever. And it's really weird, cause in like every story involving Hades, in every movie that I've watched, whatever, Hades is so mad at his brother Zeus that he wants to defeat him and take control of Mount Olympus. That's what he wants to do in every like TV show, movie, whatever I've ever watched. Every time that's what he wants to do. Because bro is just pissed at his brother because of what his brother did to him. And honestly, I don't blame him. I really don't. What Zeus did to him was wrong. I wish I knew if there was a Greek god or whatever that had a spirit, or, how every one of them had like an animal that they would, that was their animal or whatever. I wish I knew if there was one that used a wolf as their Yeah, that was one thing they didn't actually mention in Percy Jackson the Lightning Thief. And funny enough, guess what? They went to the underworld and there was no dog. The only dogs that you saw were the hellhounds, and those things are so fucking butt ugly. I would have wanted to kill them, and I love dogs. I think my favorite scene in the second film, yeah, the actors are ass. I refuse to watch the TV show because they chose, like, it would not have took them long to find a brand new actor that actually looked like he could play the part of Perseus, and in the case of Annabelle, they could have found a really decent looking female actor for Annabelle. And then, of course, we gotta have Grover. I wish they would have had the guy that played Grover in the movies because he was hilarious. But it would not have took them long to find somebody that actually looked like they should be playing that part. But no, instead they just said, no, you, and you. And then they just took them without a fucking care in the world. And it pissed me off. Because it screws up the whole thing. Because, you know, they wasted all their budget on CGI and shit. And then they had no budget for actors. It's like, if you're setting yourself up for failure, go to Disney because they are setting themselves up for failure as much as they possibly can anymore. Yeah, Grover in the movies was hilarious. I love that. I gotta admit, like, I love that one scene where they're in hell and I can't remember her name now. It slips my mind, but she's like, I've never had a satyr visit before. And Grover's over there like, I'm not sure I like this. But he warms up to it real fast. No, Grover was hilarious, especially with that, like, that weird, like, ba that he did or whatever. Like, after they leave or whatever, like, after they go to Olympus or whatever, and, like, she's, like, telling him to come here with her finger, and he does that little thing or whatever. I felt so bad for Grover in the second one, though. Because it's like, you know, he didn't get as much screen time in the second one as he did in the first one, in my opinion. Like, Grover was in most of the movie in the, and I get the feeling the reason that is because they brought in that new guy, which, by the way, might I add, the guy that they had playing Percy's brother in the movie, keep that man with one eye because, oh my god, shoot me. It is bad when your CGI version of yourself looks better than your IRL face. No, but I like Tyson. I think his name was Tyson. I think something like that. I liked him. Like he was such a chill dude. But oh my god, I might give the TV show a whirl, but I doubt I'll like it. At least the actors. Also, can we highlight the fact that there is no way that the girl that plays Annabelle in the movies, there is no way her eyes are actually normally that blue? They have to be contact lenses. Have to be. Because there's no way your eyes are that blue. And I just watched a movie with her in it too, and it was San Andreas, and her eyes were just as blue in there, and I'm over here like, there's no way your eyes are that blue! Where are the contact lenses you're putting in? Them look like some of them werewolf eye contact lenses that me and my mom were joking about getting one time. I was joking about getting some red ones, but she was joking about like getting. I think we saw like blue. There was orange, yellow, which would have been gold, and then there, of course, there was the red ones. And I was joking around with her. I was like, "Man, if I put those contact lenses in, I can't wait till the teacher turns off." Yeah, yeah, that was another thing that they missed out on. Was there was a few. I can't remember if this was like in the first book or the second book, but Ares made an appearance in the book. He didn't in any of the movies. And I find that sad because I think honestly, you know how all the the actors like look like their personality, like Poseidon, skinny guy, kind of muscular, but kind of what you would envision the god of the sea looking like. Zeus over there all burly and I want my thunderbolt back. I want to see what their version of Ares would have looked like. Freaking biker gang looking guy. I guarantee you that would have been if I could have made those movies, that would have been the guy I would have got. A guy that was actually from a biker gang, because that would have been the perfect freaking thing. Tell me what you want, but you know I'm right. That would have been some of the funniest shit. Is it bad though? I gotta ask, is it bad that I imagine Ares looking like he belongs in a biker gang? Because, the way that I've always heard Ares described, it feels like that would be the role that, or what he would look like if he was to visit the human world. He would ride a motorcycle, probably with a freaking shotgun. I imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is that bad? Like, can you guys imagine like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, but it's Ares? Get in the chariots now. Freaking that is too funny. I'm kind of finding it somewhat annoying that they produce rails faster than they do anything else. No, like I'm talking about in the movies though. Like it would have been hilarious to see him make an appearance in It would have been hilarious to see him make an appearance. Because if I'm thinking correctly, I know I remember reading something about Percy and Ares actually fighting. And I think Ares ends up losing to Percy or something. And he lets him go or something like that. In one of the books that I read. And I only read the first and a little bit of the second one, so... Nah. Alright, hear me out. Alright? Nicolas Cage's Ares. Oh my god, no. Please don't do that. No. Nicolas Cage is cool, don't get me wrong. He fit the Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider role perfectly. But I just don't think he could pull off Ares as good as Arnold Schwarzenegger could. Like, can you imagine Nicolas Cage freaking, alright, Percy, I don't like you, so I'm gonna battle you to the death. Or however the flip Nicolas Cage talks with his, I really don't give a shit attitude. Nah, I honestly think if they had to, I don't know all the gods in the books that show up, but I'm trying to think of people that would have fit the role really well. Honestly, the guy that they had play Poseidon in the first one, he fits the role perfectly. I don't think I could really choose anybody better to do it. But Zeus, Zeus would be a hard one. Ooh, I know. If the guy that played Hagrid from, if the guy that played Hagrid from Harry Potter was still alive, he would be the one I'd want to play Zeus. Because everybody knows in Greek mythology, Zeus is like this big dude. So, I liked the version of Zeus in Hercules, the movie. The movie Hercules. I liked him because he was like the chill guy until you pissed him off. I think Hagrid could pull that off, honestly. So we got Arnold Schwarzenegger as Ares. We got the guy, he also played in Grey's Anatomy, by the way, that played there as Poseidon. We got Hagrid as Zeus. Alright, now hear me out. Alright, now this next one they actually did it in the second movie, and I thought it was really good. So, I don't know if any of y'all have ever watched the TV show called Rookie. Or the TV show, there's another TV show that the guy stars in. But the main guy, Officer Nolan, he plays, what was the guy that flies around with the shoes or whatever? What's his name? Hermes or something like that? Yeah, Hermes. He played Hermes in the second movie. I think he aced the role perfectly. He would be the one I'd want to play Hermes. Sexy. That's actually a song from the TV show. It was a mocking song, and the guy that sung it. No, hold on. Hear me out. We gotta get Johnny Depp, Jason Statham, We got to get all the ones that I know. Johnny Depp, Jason Statham. We got to get John Cena to be in there somewhere. Um, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Um, I'm trying to think of all the other ones I like. Sylvester Stallone. I want all those. I want all those. I want all those people to be in. We gotta like look up all the Greek gods one day and just make up like a weird ass roster of who we would want to play, who we would want to play a Greek god if we made a movie about them or whatever. Now, obviously, my opinion on Percy Jackson is I want the guy that played Percy Jackson in the movies to play Percy Jackson if we made another movie, right? The girl that played Annabelle in the movies got to play Annabelle, and then Grover has to be Grover from the movies. Tyson, that one we'd probably get a slightly better looking dude, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll figure it out. Arrest me, but make it sexy. Wait, hold on, Chris. Have you watched that show, The Rookie? I love The Rookie. It's such a good show. Oddly entertaining. Oh, excuse me. Food is for losers, man. I got that stupid song stuck in my head and I hate it. Chris, I swear to you, if you've got that freaking song in that clip, I will hurt you. John in your pocket, or you see shake too short and short. And you know the bad thing? The girl that Nolan's with in that scene ends up dating that guy. And the guy is quite literally doing every fucking thing he can to piss people off so that they come after him. This is what pisses me off about the guy. He's, what do they call it? He nags people on really fucking bad. And what he does is he'll go to random fucking places and he'll start singing songs making fun of people. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, there was a clip where he did it to a mailman, several other people, and he's just doing the shit on purpose. And then he wonders why people don't like him. It's like, motherfucker, you're doing the shit on purpose. Anybody with a mind and a brain can see it. But yeah, he comes down to the station to visit her or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, well, these people are harassing me or whatever." And it's like, mother trucker, you're doing this shit on purpose. I'm gonna just put it at 10 and let it ride. I don't play much Railroader. I don't play much Railroads online, but you're welcome to come in and visit when I do. I'm just chilling. I gotta go. I gotta go do something. This is a joke. It's not meant to offend anybody. No, come back here, locomotive. I gotta do the. No! Ah! One, two, too many bolts. Let me go. Rated Discord. Anyway. Yes, Chris, what would you like? Wasn't it rivets? I can't remember if it was bolts. Bananas and rice. I like bananas. I'm not a big fan of rice. I'll eat it if I have to, though. I don't really eat bananas that much either, though, honestly. If I'm going to eat a banana, it has to be right after it's finished being ripened. Like, right there in that time period, because after it starts getting, like, the black spots and stuff, it gets nasty. Like, really nasty. Yes, Chris. I was actually gonna get off here in a little bit, because, you know, and do it, you know. You don't know, Chris, you weren't supposed to buy the Belfast. Bad. What just happened? What just... What's going on? Oh, boy. Yeah, that's normal. I just watched my train just randomly derail itself. That was entertaining. What the fuck caused it? We hit that hill and it just fucking died. Swine? Okay, it's not messed up or anything. The track was aligned correctly. That must have been one of those random ass things that it likes to do sometimes. Help! My tender's tipped over. I don't think I can actually get this thing unhooked, can I? Hold on. Yeah, I can. There we go. Break. Oh, excuse me. We might end up switching locomotives that hauled us. No. If they know anything about naval history, they'll know the HMS Belfast sits in the Lake of London. Don't worry, guys. I said that on purpose. Yes, I'm quite aware, and I'm not hacking the game. I want to actually play the game and have fun. Yes, I said of London. I'm gonna go colonize the Lake of London. I'll be right back. Let me go pull a British right fast. All right, fine, Chris. The Pond of London. I feel like I'm gonna make Chris murder me. Either that or he has no idea what a pond is and he's trying to figure it out. You know, let me go look at what that is. Fine, fine. The Ocean of London. Chris is so gonna kill me in my sleep, and I know it. I told you already, Chris. It's the Lake of London. I don't know what you're so confused on. I know I got it right. I feel like at any moment Chris is like going to try and murder me because of the fact that I keep saying it. I'm gonna park these here for now because I really, really can't. Chris, the real question is how to get arrested in 5 minutes. Because tracing IP addresses is illegal. Chris is going to be like, it's only illegal if they find out about it. How to be on any watch list ever in 3 minutes. Only illegal if they catch me. Dear God, Chris. Next thing you know, he's going to be singing the word smooth criminal. Anyway, guys, I am going to go on ahead. I'm going to run this thing over, get it filled up on water again, and I think I'm going to end the stream there, and I'm going to go play some War Thunder. So... It's gonna take me a while to get to a water thing, though. Hopefully we'll be at our 2-hour limit by then. Man, I got so upset with myself the other day. I had this really, really good Wolf pocket watch that I had bought. And I stopped wearing it and I didn't know where it went, right? I found it the other day when I was cleaning up over here, and, well, apparently it had somehow gotten opened, and it no longer works. It is broke. So I'm a little sad about that. I want to order me another one. It wasn't nothing but like that cheap Temu crap, but, I liked it either way. I think it was actually English, I can't remember. That would make me sad. Hey, you guys, you guys want to know the quickest way to make Chris mad at you? I can tell you. He ain't gonna like it, but I can tell you. But anyway. Two ways to make a British person mad at you. Step 1. Alright, matey. Let's go get our cup of tea and have a jolly good time eating our tea and crumpets. Austrian. Yes, I'm gonna call Chris Austrian right fast. I'll be right back. Yeah, I know. I saw it today. I got a few things out of it. Nothing too crazy. Uh-oh. I went the wrong way. No! Oh well, we're just gonna end it here for now, I guess. I'll just save it and we'll come back to it later. All right. I hope everybody has a lovely day. And remember, you mess with the wolf, you get the fangs, and Chris